guys, it's CalamitiesDawn and welcome back to another episode of Minecraft 1.21. So to start off this episode, I pretty much just put together a whole bunch of things that are pickaxes that I wanted to enchant that I'd gotten from dungeoning. So I kind of I'm trying to figure out how to do it the best way without using too many enchantment points. I ended up not having enough, so I start going through my long stash of ores that needed to be smelted. And then I finally had enough to put it together, and I was very proud of it. I then continued going through and smelting the rest of the stuff that I had smelted, because there's no point leaving it there, and I get experience from it. I then went to the nether, great, and decided to mine a couple of different ores and bits and pieces while I was in there looking for a nether fortress. I got a couple of different advancements while I was in the nether too for mining ruby and Midas gold, which are from some mods. I then went home, had enough experience to put the two iron swords together, so I was quite happy with that. I then went caving and had this happen. This wouldn't be the first time I've had a near-death experience in the last couple of episodes, so good on me. I then ended up finding a whole bunch of diamonds and loot to plunder. I then found some orcish mineral. I don't know what it does. I'll eventually figure it out. And near the diamonds, I had an amethyst cluster. I then found more diamonds, of course, and more. And then went back to my base to finish doing my project. So this project that I'm doing at the moment is an underground storage center. This middle part is connected to the fountain above, which will end up turning into its own little attraction as the video goes on. But here I am sort of fiddling around deciding how I want to light it up so that nothing spawns and so that the whole area stays lit without needing a whole bunch of torches everywhere. I then end up going back caving. There will be several times in this episode where I kind of go from the base back to caving or adventuring because I end up not planning my builds out properly. I kind of just go, this is what I want to do that section, and then kind of start planning other parts and then realizing I don't have any of the resources I need. So I ended up going down this time and putting a waystone in the cave, so it made it a lot easier to get to and from the deeper parts of the cave. I found more diamonds, which I was quite pleased about. I think this is the most amount of diamonds I've found. I've gone and traded with a cleric because I needed more redstone and I couldn't find any in my mine. I then decided I'm going to go and make a brush and go and do the archaeological stuff in Minecraft, because I had a whole area that I had found last episode that I just didn't bother with. I then ended up putting everything into a different backpack just so that things are somewhat clear. I then decided this is not how I want this to look and start pulling it all apart and fiddling around with it to see what I think works best. I then realized I need a lot of green dye and I don't have any cactuses near me, like none, because the deserts are pretty far away. So I decided I'm going to build a cactus farm. Now, when I was doing this, I actually had to look up a guide on what is the best way to plant the cactus so that it grows efficiently, because I've never done this. I normally just do the whole, put it in a straight line like you do sugarcane. But then I found out that that's not the best way to do it. You can grow cactus that way, but it's a lot slower apparently. So I decided to try this. It's not pretty. It's literally just sand and dirt with a dirt wall. Sand with water and a dirt border. That's my sort of piece de resistance on it. I then went through and spent a lot of time trying to even out the water because it was bothering me. I don't know why. I then went back after getting more resources and stuff and finished off the interior. Well, I haven't fully finished off the interior, but finished where I was happy with. I then wanted to sort of bring this greenery that's on the top half of the fountain down to the bottom half. I then decided I was going to set up some barrels for my berries because I was getting chests full. And then went on a very long adventure. I think it was like an hour-long adventure in real time to get the coral blocks that I needed, and coral as well because I needed it to look pretty. On that adventure, I then continued to explore, found a couple of villages, kind of didn't put all of the village content in because there was only like a couple that looked really cool or had decent loot, so yeah. I then found this totem, decided to take it back to one of the villages just so I had a quick way of getting home if need be. I then on my exploration found a abandoned mine shaft, one that was open air, so I just kind of looted the hell out of it, continued on and found a desert pyramid or temple and looted that as well. Then found this mangrove area and I was like, okay, I'm going to retitle this to mangrove and I'm going to have a way to get straight to a mangrove biome without stressing about it. On my little adventure back to the nether to get some of the nether wart or fungus wart, I had to fight these naga. Now these are really annoying because they give me a wither effect. And after fighting the first two, I kind of hid here thinking, oh, it's not going to come and attack me, and it did, and then I kind of stressed. I just got rid of the wither and then got it back, so yay me. I then used the warped fungus that I got with nether brick to make some really cool polished teal blocks that are in the Minecraft mod pack that I've got. I then did some calcite bricks to match with the marble because I didn't want the whole floor to be marble. I thought that would be a bit too tacky. I then go and open up the fountain so that the axolotls have a way of getting down into the fountain part. I then kind of realized after that I wanted the coral in there, and so I start placing random bits of coral in and fixing that up. I then have to go and do a whole concrete sort of mining section to add a different type of flooring in because I didn't want it all marble, I didn't want it all calcite, I kind of wanted to mix it up a bit. So I used mosaic white concrete to fill in the rest of the floor. I then went back to the mine that I have near my house to grab some gravel because I was running out of gravel, but on the way there I had to deal with the zombie and skeleton. I then mined out a fair amount of this. I didn't put all the footage of me mining gravel in because it was close to 30 minutes of it. This section here, I spent probably about 30 or so minutes trying to catch different axolotls because I wanted more axolotls. Why? I don't know. I'm really obsessed with axolotls, especially because we have a mod that gives them more colors than vanilla Minecraft. At this point here, I kind of forgot how to make an infinite water source, which was my silly mistake, but I figured it out after a while. I then sort of just kept going through and catching whatever axolotls I could get, even ones that I already had colors for. So I wanted more axolotls. Then in my further exploration of the caves, I did find a whole bunch of skulk. I then had to go get more sand because I didn't have enough. I thought I'd get red sand while I'm at it and get some terracotta because I probably used terracotta for something. I made this big jump off of my concrete powder tower and was quite happy I survived because I kind of stressed about it halfway through that I was going to die. I then sort of started setting up where I want my chests to go, but making it look pleasant. I then used the veridite blocks, which I mined earlier, to be like the backdrop so that it would match with the teal nether brick blocks that we have on the roof. I went through and started placing chests down just so I had a starter point of where things had to go. I used whatever leather and sticks I had at the time to make some of the item frames and then just started clearing out some of my inventory because I have chests and chests full of stone. I then came back after going and getting some more wood to put in more chests just so I can try and empty out my inventory a bit because I have a fair amount of items in my backpacks and in all of the chests that I have, and it is ridiculous how much stuff I have. And so just by doing this, I can sort of clear out some of the stuff that I have just so I have room to put some of my items that I don't have storage for yet away because my chest's full. I have chest monsters and they're terrible, and I am so grateful I don't have shulker boxes because they would probably be worse. At this point, I decided to go back to the nether because I needed to get a whole bunch of netherrack because I was running out of nether bricks, and I needed them for more parts of the roof. I sort of at this point just decided that I'm not going to do the entire roof, but I am going to do the roof above of the chests so that it looks uniform with the wall. I don't know why, but it was bothering me that it didn't look right. I added down another set of chests so that I could slowly start expanding on the storage. This whole bottom area that I've been doing is going to be a storage room. I ended up putting the promethium ore that I had to use and making a promethium sword, and apparently promethium has its own ability called regrowth. So after a while, whatever damage I've done to the sword, it actually fixes itself. I then used a lot of those diamonds that I had mined to make myself some diamond armor finally, because I really needed some and I didn't have any. I then decided to go back to the nether to get some blaze rods. Probably not the best idea to do it with diamond armor, but I did anyway. I then started playing around with some redstone and copper bulbs because I thought that they'd look quite cool as lighting, and they do, they match quite well. I think I'll let them oxidize though so that it fits the tone of the room. I then just stopped and had a look at Jaffa, or chocolate, or cocoa, or whatever I called it. I also got this thing, I don't know what it is. We'll figure out next episode, won't we? Bye guys.